Okay. Hello, how are you today?
Mason, how you doing?
All right. I'm recording.
Avery, I'm sorry. That's okay. I'm recording too.
And what's your name?
I'm Officer Housework. Officer Housework.
Spell that last name?
Housworth. Housework.
Houseworth.
Yes.
Okay. You got a card?
No, I don't have a card.
You? I was
Remember
told
you called me. You called me, remember?
I left a message for you.
Yes, you left a message for me. You asked me to come out here. You invited me out here to write you some
I
tickets.
wanted to make it pick a time for it to do this, so I can have specific signs out here for you.
Why you want specific signs, sir?
Well, I mean, how did the fine work?
I don't know that. You have to ask the court on that.
With the magistrate, I understand that the recorded court no longer there. I mean, it's been merged with the magistrate court.
Magistrate court, correct.
And is it handled any differently?
What do you mean? I don't understand what you're saying.
Oh, I mean, at the recorded court, I had Judge Nellie Withers. You're the one in charge of the case, right?
I will be. Once you get these citations, I'm going to write you. You invited me out here, right? You invited me out here to write
but right now I got like probably 30 signs out here. I can understand that they can be fined for each one over 4, right?
You got a lot going on.
And I try to get y'all out here for 5 signs. I showed up December the 8th downtown at your office, and to find out if there were any complaints. And I was told there were no complaints in my yard. And I wasn't doing that many, but I was doing like 12 signs.
Right.
And so I started a complaint against myself.
Why would you start a complaint against yourself?
Well, because back when long before 10 years ago, the people moved, the 2K guys bought this lot, and they started cutting down all the trees. Well, they were cutting down a lot of trees. So I called the county to complain, and that's when I learned about the green law. The lady over the phone told me about the green law, that they're allowed to cut down 5 trees per year. They had approached the county and got permission for 5 trees for December, 5 trees for January, and 4 more. Now, why the 4 more weren't included in the first 10, I don't know. But 14 trees, but that was still a lot of trees, leave a lot of trees. They started from, worked their way around. And they were on the side when I made my first call. But that was still a lot of trees. One day.
That what started all the sign stuff?
Yeah, it started with that, but it escalated. It's several things at one time.
How can we remedy it? How can we remedy this? How can we remedy this? The trees are gone.
Well, I mean, we get Emory University, a Methodist tribunal will be one way. I want a hearing.
Emory University?
Yeah, Emory University. I want a hearing.
Well, you know we're DeKalb County.
Huh?
You know we are DeKalb County.
Yeah, we know that, but I think Emory is a big influence on DeKalb County elected official.
Oh, I have no idea about that.
Okay, but who would complain for you? Okay, you're out here today with our call, right?
Yes.
Okay, who were y'all responding to the last time y'all came out here?
I have no idea.
Did y'all close the case or is it open?
I have no idea on any of the previous.
You ought to know.
No, sir.
You ought to know the history.
No, I hadn't looked up the history. I heard that you and Lorena had a court case, and you went and you paid a fine.
It was that large cross in the center yard, and it had the plastic sheet that said the word "tragic vision of humankind."
Okay.
And I got fined $2,000 for that, plus $50 court fee. It came out to like $2,500. No, $2,100. Fine for that one cross, nailed to a tree, larger than 6 square feet, more than 4 feet off the ground. And then they came out twice, though, and so even though I had a lot of other signs on tree, they just did me 1 citation. But so they ended up being 5 citations altogether, and one of them got thrown out. And but without that plastic sheet in it, my understanding that cross is not a sign. It's still the same size. It's still nailed to a tree. It's still
I'm not going to litigate the case out here. It's for you to bring your evidence to court. Your argument to court.
How are you going to write this up? 1 sign or 1 violation or 1 for every?
No, you're going to get about 4 citations.
4? Okay, 4 hours, all right. Well, I'm also, going to keep this going. I got $67,000 worth. You want to do 1 sign, 1 violation for every?
So you want me to write 1 ticket per sign?
Well, I mean, I only got so much money before I hang myself. So I only got so much. I'm trying to make it's a method. It started off with me, complaining about them, and you can't. I called. I took 14 trees, and then but one day I noticed they were going beyond 14 trees. I called the county again, and the lady was like, "Well, the trees are a threat to his house. What can we do?" They blew me off twice. By this point, the only trees left were between me and that house,
Right.
and I'm the only one that did. The neighborhood was mad. A lot of people, the first time I called, the lady said, we're already well aware, and I was far from being the first one to
How
call.
big are your signs?
They're all 6 square feet. The signs themselves, but I'm only allowed 4. I can tell you that right now. I'm only allowed 4. They're 6 square feet each.
All your signs are 6 feet?
Yeah, they're all 6 square feet. Unless you consider the cross sign. But I was told, Officer Silver himself said, that's just 2x4 nailed to the tree as far as he was concerned. But anyway, the traffic division of humankind means that there are limitation flaws in the way we think as a species. And unless we take this into account and act on it collectively, we are doomed to failure. There are the messages here, and they read like a storyboard. Really what I'm doing is having a conversation.
Okay. I mean, your argument is for court, so you have your driver's license with you.
No, I have to go in the house to get it.
Please, you need your driver's license. And make this official.
Okay, hang on. Still recording.
All right.
Okay. Something's not right about this. They're coming out here on my complaint. Rub it up, 3 minutes. Make a long story short, they blew me off twice. When it was just me and the county alone, they blew me off twice when they went over 14 trees. Before they were done, they cut down 24 trees.
And then, county or you?
No, the people that bought that lot, they cut down 24 trees. They were only given permission for 14. When I called the second time to complain that they were going over, the lady county totally blew me off, which is completely dismissive. So now you're out here because I'm over 4 sign, and. So, the first time I went around, they wouldn't even let me bring up their violation. First time they would large bags on the tree. I was purposely trying to highlight the difference. I could cut the trees down, but I couldn't, put signs on them, like they did. And they wouldn't let me bring up any of the green law the first time around. That's what I want to do the second time around, and bring up, if the judge doesn't do that, that doesn't allow me to complain about what I was trying to do is embarrass DeKalb County into admitting willful accessory to Mr. Bliss' crime of violating green law. They wouldn't let me bring up any of it. And plus they had George and Bob and Janet Gary as a witness about my sign, but they had nothing to do with my violations. They were all technical violations. Nothing about the words on the sign. Bobby complained about my sign being nonsensical writing. That was not nonsensical writing. And they're fussing about me bringing down their property value. And okay. Anyway, that was Mr. Bliss. I'm increasing.
Let me get your driver's license. While you talk, I can write.
Mr. Bliss was like, I'm increasing your property value. I'm increasing your property value. I'm increasing your property value. Yeah. And so if he can increase my property value, and I have no regrets about reducing the property value. I don't think it reduces the property value. Once I stop it, it goes back up. But so I was trying to admit, the DeKalb County, get them to bear them to admit in willful accessory to Mr. Bliss crime of violating green law. They cut down 24 trees before they moved in. I just happened to be home that one day when all of a sudden, the foreman, up to that point, the foreman was just telling all the little brown. I call the little, he had to be a little brown, but they were little, very foreman. And,
What's your violation?
And all of a sudden he came alive, got in the Bobcat. It was like mid-afternoon when they normally would stop, like early evening, and he drives it up against the tree, bends the treads out, backed it up against another tree, bends the treads out. He kept doing this over and over and over again until he had done every remaining tree left on the back of the lot. And sure enough, after they moved in, they continued cutting down trees, and yeah, that lot right there. And it used to be a park. Now they gutted the house, completely gutted it. It's on the market now. They call that an urban oasis. They cut down all the trees and they call it an urban oasis. And if you look at that house, all I think is Dead Planet Hollywood, you know. And also 3 different storms, the 3 different trees, 3 different storms broke off top half. Onto my property. My tree, one fell on the house, crashed in the bedroom ceiling into my bedroom, $20,000 worth of damage, and I would have to worry about these trees on the edge, not used to wind, breaking off. It's a domino effect. Whatever's going to blow through. So I still continue to be affected by county, looking the other way, being, disregarding the green law, and letting them increase the property value, which increases property taxes, which increases, the income of the county. And I think that's just a conjecture, but I'm pretty sure that's why they did that. Well, they call it the Hollywood house now. What the hell is it made out of? The redwood forest, California redwood forest. So I want to bring that up again. If they don't let me bring this up again in court, I think I should be given a variant. For my side, there's no allowed.
Apply for a variant.
Well, they're not going to let me have that. Well, I can't. Where do I apply for a variant?
You're right. They're not going to let you have it, but you said they should give you a variance.
Okay.
Huh?
Right? You said they should give you a variance, correct?
They could, but they're not going to, though.
Right, because it's not allowed.
Well, they're not allowed to cut down all the trees they did, but they let them do. They looked the other way. So the county was complicit in that. In that, apparently, they showed plans ahead of time. I don't know this for a fact because I don't talk to them, but showed ahead of time the property value, and the county looked the other way. That they want to get more income in, they'll do it, and they did it at my expense. So that's why I had no problem bringing it up. So even if I don't decide, what I'm yelling out here, I'm recontextualizing my life with that of Jesus of Nazareth. Pray thy good Lord next door neighbor and neighborhood leads. If you got 2 of the same thing, you only need but 1. Once you got that, blank check that keeps on giving, that's my religious thing. That's why I want the Methodist Tribunal. They go too far with that, Jesus died for our sins so we may live. That's not right, If we're all sinners, then we're all sinners stop being we're all sinners, and they're right throwing everybody else in jail.
It's okay. Let me ask you. I got to ask you.
Yeah.
How can we solve this?
I want a Methodist Tribunal with Emory University.
Have you contacted Emory University?
I tried, and they're playing every shining book in the book, and it started with these 2.
So we're going to suffer. We're going to suffer because you mad with Emory. Are we?
Well, now?
We're going to suffer because you mad with Emory. I use the word suffer because we have to keep coming out here talking to you about your signs and all that kind of stuff.
It would help if y'all talk. Who complained? Who complained when y'all
did?
Huh? No, this is today. I'm talking about last time.
I have no idea.
I called and I found out that they closed my case, my complaint, December the 8th. I went back December the 22nd, and that's when I found out that there was an active file still. They wouldn't let me inspect it. They wouldn't let me have a copy of it. But I was told Officer Gordon was in charge of that case. What happened to him? And even the county was told that Officer Gordon was, and they started a thread within nextdoor.com.
Well, you're going to get your opportunity to come and share your side in reference to the signage.
What now?
You're going to get a chance to come to court. Your court date going to be scheduled for the 28th of June.
June?
Yes, sir.
Can I continue doing that until then?
You're in violation every day.
What does that mean?
That means that every day you do this, we come back out, we can write you more citations.
I understood I had 30 days to correct any citation.
Every day is a different violation.
Every day is a what?
Different violation.
I thought I had 30 days to correct the previous violation.
Your violation is not structural. Yours is just something that can be taken down and put it back up instantaneously.
Well, then I'll leave them up.
Your violation is not structural. Yours is just you take them down and put them back up. Structural is like a burned house.
Service request is 92.
You don't think that's structural? Structural is burned.
Yeah, well, I mean, but I think that violating the green law was structural. It affected my health. Okay.
We got 2 apples and oranges right now. I don't know anything about that.
You should.
I can only go on what you're telling me, and
But why didn't they complain when I had? Why didn't they respond? Why did the county dismiss my complaint? But then they come out with somebody else's complaint. There was obviously they came out with you, right?
That wasn't me.
There were 2 other guys with them.
That was me. I came out with Officer to my
Is your name going to be on there?
Yes.
Spelled out?
That's what.
I can't even read that. H-O.
I'll write it again.
Let me get it printed. And your name?
Cockrell. Cockrell. Cockrell.
Cockrell. Cockrell. C-O-C-K-E. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Can you write your name on there? You print it on there somewhere.
Technically, no.
Huh?
Because I'm writing a citation. He's
Okay,
not.
well, write it on the back. His name on the back, so I have it. So that he was with you. Do you have a card on you?
I don't have one.
10-4 radio, please.
So basically what I'm writing now is I'm looking at this as, like you said, I'm listening to what you have said. You said, you stage these events. These are events. Put your signs out.
I'm going to be out here dancing with them too. At the conversation.
You're having a conversation.
I'm having a conversation.
So
Yeah, look at this. Prevaricate. Are you familiar with the Rosewood cat? The Rosewood. They all tie together if you make the effort. Are you familiar with the Rosewood Massacre?
Well,
Are you familiar with it? See, here I'm trying to show them. The ideal job for me would be in a liberal think tank behind the scenes, where we bat out and we get to people. I know I'm not electable, but the fact that I'm atheist is why the Emory campus is ignoring me. But I was raised Methodist. So the point I'm trying to make is, when I first be introduced to God, before being aware of God, before as I was born into the First United Methodist Church in Perkins, Arkansas, population 4,000, raised by the church right up until I graduated from high school. At that point, when a kid never really goes away, I'm realizing as an adult on recently, although I consider myself radical atheist, that I have always been and will forever always will be Methodist, no less than Jesus ever stopped being a Jew. So I can be both Methodist and atheist without labeling myself a Christian. Christian tells you absolutely nothing about anyone. So as far as I'm concerned, is you will find no 2 people on the planet agreeing the same way exactly as to what it means to believe in a God. As far as I'm concerned, we have just as many gods as we have people claiming one, have ever claimed one, and forever will be claiming one. That's not a God. So by believing in 0 God, as opposed to no God, didn't mean I refuse choosing any one God to recognize or worship. That leaves the only God available being my witness, the genuine, if truly indeed there is one. He's the husband of the Susan Gary, the Reverend Doctor preacher at Mount Zion. Her mother, they bought it from her mother, who was the wife of George Robert Gary, thinking like theology. They're the ones I got burned by, and. Pray that good Lord next door neighbor, the neighborhood leads. When you got 2 of the same thing, you only need one. Keep calm, but live the four dimension. And
let me explain what I'm writing. Because I'm on a schedule, he's on a schedule. We're not trying to actually not hear what you're saying.
Yeah, but
your argument is going to be for court.
Yeah, but they're not going to. Are they going to take the time to hear it? Every time I
tell you what the court's going to do.
They listen to everything they had to say.
Once we present these
but
citations,
when I got ready to, they wouldn't let me say anything.
It's no longer our citations. Court has them. Okay. So, bring all your evidence, all your arguments, or whatever. If they hear it, they hear. If they don't, we're here about the signs and your events that you're having.
Yeah, and then it gets the responsibility to delegate it out so thinly. I can't get anybody to hear the point I'm trying to make.
Let me explain what I'm writing. So I want you to know what I'm writing, because I'm saying all temporary display activities less than 10 feet from the right-of-way is prohibited.
Less than 10 feet from the right of way.
Less than 10 feet.
Well, I didn't know about that one. Okay.
All right, that's your number. Oh man, it's been a 4.
But they had a training order that I couldn't come within 5 yards of their property boundary, and that took up the street. That means I officially couldn't even get in and out of my driveway.
All right, and the other one is events customarily associated with seasonal or federal holidays.
I consider this to be Easter.
You consider that to be Easter?
Easter.
Okay.
Why do you think the living mother dead? He had risen. So this is Easter.
Because you're getting ready to pour, and I don't typically want to get wet.
I don't know.
Yeah. The accumulation aggregate signage exceeds 24 square feet is prohibited. That means all of these signs exceed 24 square feet. You're in a residential. Residential really don't.
But it doesn't impede the right of way, though.
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah.
Bring your arguments to court, please. All right, then I got single signs in residential zoning over 6 square feet is prohibited.
There's none over 6 square feet.
You say none over 6 square feet.
There's none over 6 square feet. That's why they're inflatable.
6 square feet. That's inflatable.
But we already know they're not signed from the previous court.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're not
Okay.
considered a sign. Even that one that says get your candy here is not considered a sign. Even that one inflatable, or the one that I have another one that says Happy Holiday. That's not considered a sign. That cross is
it's
not
a
considered
display.
a sign.
It's a display.
Display.
All right. They need to get your, that's the 6 square feet. You say it's not a sign.
But as I made the holiday, Easter's there all year round.
You say that's not a sign. So
Good.
I'm going to leave the 6 square feet one alone.
Okay. But that is a sign that says get your candy here.
All right. This one is the accumulation of aggregate signage. You want to sign your citation? You want to sign the citation?
I'll sign it. Yeah. How many?
It's 3. It's going to be 3. I told you 4 at the beginning.
Yeah, 3. Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and sign it. Just do what happens. I'll just. They'll probably blow me off again.
Well,
Let's hope not. Let's hope they don't blow you off.
No, that's why I didn't get resolved the last time. It was a kangaroo court.
Well, let's hope they don't blow you off so we can get all this resolved.
right.
That's all we want.
And this one is for the event not customarily associated with federal holidays. You said it's Easter.
To me, I mean, it was a federal holiday. That's violating my religion.
Okay.
To me, this is a religious event.
Okay. Well, like I say, bring your evidence.
So they're going for event not like my inflatable, right?
Yes.
Okay, we'll see what they say. All right.
Yeah.
So we've already voted. That came up to the previous court.
Did it?
I didn't bring it up. They did. Actually, the owner of this house, mother, that said she understand I can do the inflatables year round. What's that one?
Is that right? Okay. All temporary display activities less than 10 square feet from the right of way is prohibited.
Okay, so there's 3 citations.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think it would be like $1,000 per sign per violation.
I'm not the one in charge of the sign.
What do you know? What are you here in court with? You're here in court with us,
I'll
right?
be in court.
So what have you?
The fines are not up to me. It can be up to the judge.
So what's the range you've been hearing?
Well, it can be up to $1,000.
Up to $1,000. I was $500 last time each. So plus them.
I mean, that's a lot of money to, in my opinion, there.
Yeah, but to me, I think it's a good cause. What I'm trying to do is get everybody on the same language with God. Everybody keeps using, just one justification after another, and that's why we're heading straight for that cliff. So June, whatever, right?
June 28th.
Okay.
That's a Tuesday.
And so you gonna come out every day, or only if you get a complaint?
I'll come out as directed. I'll come out as directed.
Not directed by
Now,
who?
no, I'll come out as directed. If I'm in this area and I pass by it, I'm doing an inspection.
Well, how come y'all drove by one day when there were 5 signs in the yard? How come y'all didn't stop? Well, I don't remember who it was, but y'all drove right by me and the guy.
Well, one thing is, since I'm in this district now, I'm in this district, the 18th.
How long you been in the district?
Probably about 5-6 months.
I think they're purposely changing everybody around, so I can't get any message across because I have to start all over with every new person.
Well,
It's always a different cop, it's always a different code enforcement, it's always it's my word against every neighbor, and I can never get them to get. I try to get. Here's another thing: get them in the neighborhood association to meet me at the park, and we'll talk about that.
I wouldn't meet you at the bar.
So I'm gonna try to get. I've had this along to Mary Hinkle and Patrick Noonan that I would like a meeting at the park. They got a thread going on.
Why has to be at the park?
Because I'm going after God, and I'm good at it. But we get the guy we had, like this one lady pulls over, so you're a non-believer, right? And I go, well, atheist, but not necessarily a non-believer. And she was 2 old women, and the old one, there was even an older one that came from nursing home on the passenger side. And I started walking up to her, and I go, and she goes, well, there's a guy. She got upset when I said that, And I go, well, by this point, I'm closer to that old woman on the passenger side than that woman driving the car. And I go, well, this would all depend on how we are going about defining a God. I'm already agreeing with you. If there is to be a God by definition, we can only have one. But at least we're getting the God we have, not the one you shoot. And here's the problem. By claiming to believe in a God, you're starting to go down this dangerous road of claiming to know God's thought. And that's where I have a problem with God. And if you're going to claim to know any of God's thoughts, then you better goddamn well know all of them. And this is what I like about believing in zero God, because it leaves the only God available, being my witness, the genuine, if truly indeed there is one. Truth be God, universal, one in set. And then you go, well, who made you? And then I was like, here you go, everything made has to have a maker, the Jehovah's Witness. So I go, both my mother and my father. And that's as far as I'm needing to go. and then she drives off. And she gets me to drive off, and I'm watching her drive off. And then I'm thinking, Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. And then I shouted after her, unless she said no, then it was just him. You know, it wasn't.
Mr. Avery, I do appreciate the time.
Okay, so
I'll see you the 28th of June.
June.
28th of June. Yes.
Okay. So, where is that? Downtown Decatur?
Yes, no.
The same old recorder court?
Yes, same old.
Okay.
But it's magistrate now. It's magistrate court now.
Magistrate court.
Yes.
So how are they different? How would they handle it different than the
Different
old?
judges.
How would they handle magistrate handle it different from the court? Is there going to be a bunch of people packed into a courtroom like cattle?
Yes.
But they weren't in my hearing. It was an audience. I think that it was like, I don't know who they were, but they were not like your typical. I mean, I'm being making fun of them. Your typical, stereotypical African American criminal heard into these other courtrooms like they were nothing more than cattle. In my room here, it was like a bunch of people, and they didn't look like people that were there for citation. It was more of a comedian planned audience. I can't even find out who they were. Nobody would tell me anything. And here's the problem. Those with a surplus are better able to control their circumstances. Those without a surplus are controlled by those with a surplus. One is not always able to exercise good judgment. And information is a surplus is something. Until people start sharing information with me, being upfront, truth be guided, universal one is said, then nothing is going to get resolved. That's all this is about.
We'll see you the 28th. Okay?
Okay.
Got any questions? Oh, I'm going to put my number on here.
Yeah, a card. Send me your card for mail if you can. Can you do that?
770. No, my 770.
Give me a business card so I can put it with my collection of others.
520809. Now all our office